Hi, and welcome to Unstoppable Mindset. We're glad you're back with us again. And today we get to meet with Acen Kevin Danila. And it's actually Acen Kevin, and Danila is her middle name. She is the founder of ICEF, a charity in Northern Uganda that helps children, disadvantaged children specifically. And I'm fascinated to hear about that and to learn more about what the charity does and so on. But we're going to start by welcoming Acen to the podcast and learn a little bit about her. So Acen, I want to welcome you to Unstoppable Mindset. Thank you for taking the time
Thank
to
you
be
so
here with
much,
us.
Michael. Thank you so much, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to be in the Unstoppable Mindset podcast. It's a great pleasure.
Well, why don't we start by you telling us a little bit about you growing up and kind of the early Acen, if you will.
Okay. Um, my story growing up has not been easy in terms of education. I struggled so much through education. Being an orphan, I really did not have anybody to support me through education. But like the saying goes that people are stronger when you're together. So I had really so many people who supported me through education. I was sponsored by five different individuals, people, including an organization, Imara Uganda Education Fund. So you can imagine that it has really been a struggle. And that is one of the reasons why I decided to give back to the community, to see that children who are in the situation that I was, or even worse, children that are struggling through education, they can get education. So life has not been really so easy as far as education is concerned for me.
One of the things that you do with the foundation, and we'll get to the foundation, but you do a lot of work with children with disabilities. Did you or do you have a disability?
No, I don't have any disability
Oh,
at all.
okay.
Yes,
But that's just one of the areas that you decided that you wanted to work with. So did you went to school and you said education was hard, I assume, because just the normal pressures of being an orphan and just having to do all the things that you had to do growing up, right?
yes. So I really decided to support disability inclusions, support inclusive education, to sponsor children and youth who are blind and those with low vision, not because I have any disability, but because in my community, I see two sides. I see those ones who are empowered and those ones who are educated and they have the skills. They do better than somebody who is blind and is not empowered. Normally, they turn into begging on street, and the society start to look at them like a burden to the society. So, through my charity, and it is what we are doing now, we want to empower them so that they can reach their full potentials. They can be able to earn a living through the skills they get through education. And I am inspired by the blind people who are educated and they are empowered. One of them is the magistrate grade one judge, who is also from my community. He's a lawyer. So that is the inspiration. I am inspired by people like you. So I want really many people with disability to get equal chance to education. Yeah, thank you.
So did you go to college?
Yes, yes, I have a degree in accounting and finance.
Well, that's a little bit different from starting a charity or a foundation, it would seem. But you got your degree in finance and accounting. Did you do anything directly with that? Did you have any earlier jobs in accounting or finance, or did you decide uh, immediately that you wanted to start the foundation?
Um, with my career in a degree in accounting and finance, I do practice that as well. Even in the NGO, it really helped me to do good accounting, taxation. So I still use the same skill to run this charity. And I practiced that before. Yes, accounting and finance. So it has really helped me. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about, if you would, the foundation, the name of it, and where the name came from, and how you started it.
Yes. Itinga Charity Education Foundation is a non-profit organization that advances education of disadvantaged children in Northern Uganda through provision of scholarships, materials, school supplies, and facilities for education. The word Itinga is the local Luo language, which means you lift me. So it symbolizes lifting up children out of poverty through education. So Itinga means you lift me.
Atinga means you lift me. Okay, I
Yes.
understand that,
Mhm.
which is a very clever
Yes.
name and
And
could be a very
we,
accurate
we, we
name.
focus mm, we focus mainly on disability inclusion and empowering the blind and youth to reach their full potentials.
When did you start the foundation?
The foundation started in 2021.
So it's fairly new. So it's been,
Sorry?
I say it's fairly new. It's been around 3 years.
Yes, yes, for 3 years,
Uh-huh.
yes. But we're already making great impact.
Well, tell me a little bit about that. Tell me, if you could, about maybe some of the people you've helped, some of their stories a little bit, if you would.
The children that we are supporting.
Yeah, a little bit about
Hello?
them, kind of what successes you've
Yes,
had.
yes. Okay, so as I said earlier on, that the organization sponsors children through a award scholarship for education. So the children that we are having under our scholarship programs are children that are really needy and they're coming from very poor background. Um, so we provide them with full scholarship and we educate them right from primary level, secondary level, up to university, then tertiary institution and vocational, depending on the capability of the child. But those children, there are these families that stand out. They all have different stories. Like for example, we have two families that has many children. They have many children with who are blind. There's one family that have 7 children, and of the 7 children, 4 were born completely blind. So in 2019, we started sponsoring one of them. Then this year, we got a sponsor who offered to sponsor a child and is sponsoring one. So far in that family, we are helping 2 children. And it is hard, life is hard for them as they're peasant farmers and having to take care of the poor, totally blind children, and then the rest, the 7 children, all in the family.
Hmm.
We also have similar family. There's a family we are supporting now, one girl who is studying in the new school that we have, the inclusive school, St. Mary's Goretti. Uh, sh She's the Akulu. Akulu comes from a family of 9. There are 9 children, but out of the 9, 4 were born blind. And she did not really get a chance to study in an inclusive school during her primary. So one of her brother, the elder brother, who is also blind, dropped out of school already. And even her, she had already dropped out of school when our organization was told about her. So we had to pick her, and now she's studying well and learning Braille, and she's already in senior 1 this year. We have met different children with different poor, from very poor background. We have one boy that we've been sponsoring. He's already now in senior 2. We started sponsoring him right from primary 5. He comes from a child-aided family. The first time I went to that family was in 2021 when we started the charity. I shedded tears because we could see the grave of the mother, the father, and there are these 3 young boys. They have to take care of themselves. They have to farm, to eat. So it's really very difficult for them. And it makes I feel happy now to see that the boy we took is doing well, and he studies. So he can bless the family in future. So many of those children who have the potentials. So in our charity, we are not only sponsoring the children who are blind or those with low vision. We sponsor all categories of children. However, we have inclusion. So we include everybody. We have those ones who are lame that we are sponsoring. We are having those ones without any physical challenge that we are also sponsoring.
Now, when you say you're sponsoring, you actually have to contribute to or pay for their education. There isn't public funding available for that, or how does the process work?
When we say we are sponsoring, normally we don't really have like funding ready available. So we keep all donations that come, the general donation, and then we also have sponsor child program where we have an individual people saying that I want to sponsor a child, and we have them sponsoring the children under our charity.
So what does it
So
mean
the
to
fund is
sponsor?
not available. We keep on fundraising. We keep on looking for donation for that. And beside the scholarship program, we also provide materials for education. Materials like the Braille machines, the Braille papers to inclusive schools for the blind. And we also provide textbooks to other schools that are not inclusive school. So we provide all those materials which are needed for education.
And that's because the traditional schools really don't have the resources to get those materials themselves.
Yes, yes.
So Itinga does that. It provides those materials and gives the support to essentially make for more of an equal education for children with disabilities and others who need your support.
Yes, yes, we do that. We do that. We make sure because like say for an example in Lao sub-region where our office is located, you find that there's only 2 schools which are giving inclusive education to the blind. And those schools, you may go there, they have only 2 brails that are being shared by teachers and children. So we try to support such schools. Then still in Uganda, you will be surprised if you come here that we still have children that study under the tree, that write down on the floor. They write down without pen, without books. So we also give school supplies to enable children facilitate their learning. We also give like desks, provide desks, provide computer. So that is under materials for education.
So, I don't know whether this is an easy question to answer. So, what does it cost to sponsor a child, maybe for a year in school?
What it costs to sponsor a child for a year in school. No, it depends, but normally when we are to award scholarship, we normally start from primary school. So that's you really say it's a hard question because it varies. First of all, it depends on the school where the child is going, because every school has different fee structures. And then it also depends on the level of education of that child. If the child is in secondary school, like in St. Mary's Goretti right now, those who are sponsoring the child there, it costs around that is 688,000 to sponsor a child per term. So in a year, it's about 2 million Uganda shilling, and that can be how much in that can be around 600 pounds
Mhm.
to sponsor a child in a secondary school. So
Do you
the lower level pays also lower, the higher levels pays.
do you get a lot of resistance from the schools when you talk about, say, bringing a child with a disability into the school? Do they welcome, or is there more resistance because they feel that that kind of a child is not going to be able to get the same level of education or be able to learn as well, or is it pretty welcoming?
It's not welcoming. Not all schools are welcoming to children with disability. That is the fact. And that is why I'm calling this other school an inclusive school. So there are few schools that do that. So if you take a child, when I was still volunteering with the Mara Uganda Education Fund as an administrator, before even I founded a Itinga charity, we had this one girl that had multiple disability, and we took her to a school that wasn't inclusive. So the girl was really performing poorly. Sometimes would even get 0.5 out of 100 because if she's seated outside under the tree, no one would bother. If the bell rings, the rest are running to class, no one will care. But for the inclusive school, they have a system where a like a student can help the fellow student. Somebody knows that, okay, he cannot see, so I can help him if he's moving in a new environment. Uh, he cannot maybe climb here, it is not very accessible. Someone can help you push your wheelchair. So it is really hard. It's not really welcoming. If they allow you to study there, then sometimes a child go there just to pass time.
Hmm.
And they get a lot of, I don't know, people that discriminate. Like, what are you studying for? You can't be anything, you know. People can discourage them, and you find that such children are not really happy. But when they're in an inclusive school, they are happy and they really fit to the environment. They feel important and they are able to study in that friendly environment and become very, very uh, powerful people in the society.
Okay, I understand. What what made you decide to focus so much attention on disadvantaged children or children with disabilities? That had to be a, a, a pretty challenging decision to make, knowing what you would have to face to make it real.
Mhm. So what made me to do that, or what made us to say that the charity should focus in disability inclusions and empowering, especially children who are blind and low vision, is because in my society, in my community, as I said earlier on, you would see the difference in those one who managed to get education and those one who did not. It really hit me hard always when I move in my town on the street of Kampala and I find somebody who is blind, is begging on the street. No, somebody who is having a disability is begging. No, and for them, I feel like the person with disability should even be empowered more than somebody without disability. Because if I don't have the disability, I can be able to at least do other things and but you really need education, like the blind need education, because right now there are those assistive technology that help you, like help them to do other things that it would be hard to do. So if you're not educated, it can really be very hard. So I believe that every child deserve the right to really have education, irrespective of whether of your ability. Everybody should have education.
What kind of successes have you experienced so far? You said that you've sponsored children of all ages. So, have you had any who were old enough that they've now finished school and gotten jobs or anything like that? Or um, do you have any examples of children who you have been able to sponsor who have been able to show that they can learn like anyone else and become more accepted in their schools?
Yes. We have those children that are already making us feel happy for what we are doing, because we really see how the charity is making an impact, is bringing changes to the life of children. Um, Itinga Charity Education Foundation is working in partnership with the Mara Uganda Education Fund. So Imara Uganda Education Fund has been in Uganda, working in Uganda for the last 10 years, since 2011. And when we started the partnership in 2021, they entrusted the children that were already in their scholarship to our charity. So those ones that were entrusted to us, they already we have those ones that already completed their studies. We're having those ones who are already right now they're teachers, they're midwives. We're having the one who already completed their diploma in clinical medicine, civil engineering. We are having those one who have completed already, like, and then we have those students after already doing their degree in education, like they want to become teachers. So already the charity is changing life. And you see that the children who are from a very poor school in the village, because when we take you to sponsor your education, we bring you to a school that provide quality education. So there's life change. Children that we took from primary, they're already in secondary school and they're performing extremely well. And with the children with disability, for the last 3 years that we have worked, we have seen changes in them. Like there's one girl, Joy. Joy is completely blind. When she first joined, she was not very confident, but now she's the one who represents all the blind children and low vision under our charity. She has been representing even other NGO outside. She has traveled to outside the country to advocate for people who are blind. So it's really very impressive to see how children are, even when they are still studying, you see already the life change. You see a child that came when did not even know English at all. Even the interview for scholarship we might have done in the local language, but now they speak English. So there's really a life change. And then with children with disability, one big thing that I also see, even their families that already they were not having support, they were not having love for such children. Some had already even locked them in the house, like the people don't know that there's a child with disability in that family. But the moment we get that child and start sponsoring, it changed the attitude of the parents toward them. They start to say, okay, because they see how now the child is doing well, is being taken care of. So they also start now to support. The love increase. Have seen. So the mindsets of parents are also changing to see them. And normally we have programs that parents with children with disability meet together. So you find that they start to they start to see, okay, you are seeing somebody who is blind is already a teacher in the school, is a social worker, is a lawyer. So it also gives them, because if somebody has been in the parents who has been deep in rural village, first of all, you started when some people even ask us, now you want to sponsor this one. Don't you think, why don't you take my child, this one who can see? I've ever been asked that one. I think two parents did that. There's one who said, you take this one and they leave this one. But after they see how these children are catching up, you know, so it's motivating not only to the parents, and also even the children get to their mind get to change. They get to know that they are value in the community. Yes, they can become anything they want if they study, if they are empowered. So they really strive hard. I'm so happy to see how um, this is making a big impact.
Well,
Yes,
I can hear it in your voice. I mean, you're clearly very happy and very proud of the work that you're doing, and
absolutely.
and you're obviously changing attitudes, which is important because we all face that. We face these attitudes that
Yes,
we're less than other people, and it's so hard to get people to understand that, in fact, we're just as capable as anyone else.
yes, yes. That much I've experienced it. That's very true. Very, very true.
So tell me a little bit more about the whole idea of inclusive secondary school project in Northern Uganda and what that is, and um, how you're involved with that.
Oh, yes. The inclusive secondary school. Um, there used to be no secondary school, which is inclusive. There was no inclusive secondary school in the region. In the whole of Lao sub-region in Northern Uganda, where our office is situated, there were no inclusive secondary school. There were only two inclusive primary school, and in those schools, children were dropping out of school every year because when you complete your primary, then you have nowhere to go. Reason being, the few inclusive schools that we have in Uganda, all schools for the blind, the inclusive school that provide the school that provide inclusive education to the blind, they are far, very, very far from us. And you don't expect a parent who is struggling and does not even have a smartphone to coordinate, um, to even get just admission to go to such school, leave alone transport to go to a school which is very far in another district, in another sub-region, maybe take a child to Kampala. So some parents would just give it up. And you find that every year these children are dropping out of school. They start going back in the village, and we couldn't imagine it because for me it's terrible. If I imagine somebody who is lying and has no support, no love, no education, no skills to earn a living, I think life can really be very tough for them. So in last year, 2023, Itinga Charity Education Foundation and Imara Uganda Education Fund took action. We had to say, no, our charity is very, very small, but for the love we have for the children, for the heart we have for charity, we were like, what can we do? Should we get already establish school and we provide them with braille equipment to support the student? What can we do? Will we manage to build? But we started it with faith last year, and so far we have finished phase one of the construction project, which are 8 classrooms, administrative offices, and the reception. So right now, as I talk, I'm so happy to announce that the school pioneers already with senior one class, and the construction is still going on, but already senior one class is already starting. So next year we shall be having this one in senior two, while we had mid senior one. Then it will continue in senior four. The pioneers will be the first to sit the final UNEP exams. So the school is called St. Mary's Goretti Secondary School, Ngeta. It provides inclusive education to the blind, to those students with low vision. We are having students with cerebral palsy. We are having students who are lame. So it is providing inclusive education to both able and students with disability. And it is amazing. I don't know if you have seen my recent post on LinkedIn. We made a video clip showing how the students are studying together, the inclusive classroom. It's amazing. They're studying together in one classroom, and everything is moving fine because they have special need teachers around. And even those who are not special need teachers, they are learning how to handle the students. So I'm really so happy about this school and the initiative. Already the school is providing not only education, even jobs. Teachers who had completed school, the special need teachers, they were able to get jobs in the school, the community around, now that the construction is also um, ongoing. And we believe that this is a legacy. We believe that this school will continue for many years, will be there for many years to provide inclusive education to the children. I'm happy that the community has embraced it. The community is so happy about the school, St. Mary's Goretti Secondary School. I'm being invited in local FM radio stations in Northern Uganda many times to talk about the school, so that those parents who have children with the disability who are not yet aware that already there's an inclusive secondary school, they can to create awareness about the school. I'm happy that even those who are working with government, they're already advocating. We are having support. Just last time, Uganda Bible Society, they donated to the school the Braille Bible, We are having other people that are donating to us, like the braille machines. So school has started, and we are really so happy about that. And I would like to thank also our partners, Simara Uganda Education Fund, for allowing to support. Though we call upon everyone who would like to support us so that we can we complete the facilities of the school. Support may not only be the construction, but also equipment. We need those assistive devices. Because so far we are having few brails, and next year we are expecting other lots of students. So it's impressive. And I'm so joyous every time. Just 2 days ago, a parent who has a child with cerebral palsy was giving me um, telling me how she really struggled to look for schools. She even wanted to leave her job so that she can at least create something, a room to train so that they see how to train their children with disability. Because she looked for school, inclusive school everywhere. She was even trying to call education board to ask, where can I find the inclusive school? So in Uganda, the challenge we are having, the secondary school which are inclusive are very few. Um, it is more of primary. When the child is still young, yes, you can manage with your child with cerebral palsy, you can manage. But when the child now reach uh, ordinary level and advanced level, it is hard to find such a school. So this school is really a dream come true for me, for my community. Yes.
Yeah. Have any of the students, the older students in the school, gone on to get jobs?
Sorry?
Have you had any of the students who have been in the inclusion environment or who have attended classes, have they graduated and gone on and gotten jobs yet, or have you had that level of success?
Okay. Yes. I've had the level of success before. And that is one of the motivation. Um, for example, this where we have constructed this inclusive school, St. Mary's Goretti. It's actually next to the to the inclusive primary school called Ngeta Girls that has been providing inclusive education to the blind for many years. So many people who studied from Ngeta Girls and got opportunity, especially those one who are being sponsored by NGO or had parents that could afford to take them far to study in an inclusive school, maybe in Kampala, in Iganga. They made it. They made it. And one of the OBs of that school, the old boy of Ngeta Girls Primary School, made it. He studied law. Yeah, he studied law from Makerere, and he's completely blind. But he was appointed as a grade one chief magistrate. So he's the court judge.
Wow.
Very good, and he has never lost the case. In fact, when he was appointed, even up to now, he has inspired so many people. So many journalists interviewed him, and he can do. He's doing his work, which is really a great inspiration to all those one who are blind, and to all of us who are supporting disability inclusions and inclusive education.
Uh-huh.
So I've seen I've seen those one who managed to become teachers. I've seen those ones who are social workers, very many. And the another example is you, Michael. I've seen your biography. Yes. So
Thank
you
you.
all inspire us.
Well, have so you talked about the young man who became a magistrate. How about girls? Have any girls gone on to get jobs yet?
Sorry? Any
Any
girl?
girls or women gone on to get jobs after going to the schools?
Yes, yes. I've seen many girls who become like they are doing managerial positions with the NGOs. They are working. That's why I'm saying others are social workers. I've seen others who are teachers, and they're completely blind. And those one who are advocating, they're working with the organization for disability to advocate for the rest, get education.
But you do work with children other than children who are blind. It's not just blind children you work with.
Yes.
Uh huh. Okay. Well, tell me, what has all of this taught you? I mean, this was a major, uh, I call it an adventure, but it was a major step to start this foundation and to do the work that you're doing. What have you learned from it?
What I've learned from it, I think I've learned that um, I've learned that everybody, like every child, can really do something. Like what I've learned is I've seen I've seen how education can empower somebody to become great, because I've seen the children becoming having talent. Like recently, we are performing in Paralympic blind football, so you can see the talent that the children with disability have. Uh, some of them are debaters, or they do poems. I've seen them. I've seen them play keyboard, play keyboard, become musicians. So it's really inspiring. I've learned a lot. I've learned that if we embrace uh, se-
I think we've lost you.
I was talking about what I've learned working with children with disability, doing the work that we are doing with the charity. So I've learned that if we empowered and embraced accessibility, disability inclusions, and inclusive education, we will create equitable society. And I've also learned that uh, children or people with disability can do anything as long as they are empowered. So we would like to empower them to reach their full potential.
Certainly a pretty important lesson to learn, and I'm glad you have and that you're able to pass that on to other people. What kind of advice would you give to young people who are looking to starting to think about making a difference in their own community? What kind of advice would you want to give them, and when they don't know where to
Yes,
start and so on?
yes. I would advise them to first collaborate with like-minded people, and then they should also know charity it really has a lot to do with the heart. So they should try to discover, is it really what they want? Because if you have a mind for business and then you come in the charity, it may not work well for you. So do you have the heart to give back to the community? So I would advise that they should volunteer with maybe other NGO to try and learn what happens with the charitable organization, how then if they can also do charity work. So there you keep learning. I, for one, I did not just wake up and start with the Itinga charity. I also volunteer with the organization. And in my heart, I really wanted to, I really wanted to give back to the community. I wanted to at least sponsor one or two children. And I was praying that, God, if you can give me a good job with good salary so that I can do that. But it so happened that I got the favor and the way out to operate, to have the charity funded, which now it's now making me to more than I could imagine. I wouldn't have been able to sponsor many children that we are sponsoring now through the charity without just alone as an individual. So it really has got something to do with the heart. What is your heart? Do you have do you really, is it what you want to do? Because if you have a business mind, don't try it. So yes, those are the advice I can give to those who want to start the charity.
It is good to explore, which is something that you did. You volunteered, you thought about it before you really jumped in and started your own foundation. But you also
Yes.
clearly do work in business because you have an accounting and finance degree. So do you actually have a full-time accounting and finance job as well as doing the foundation?
No, both are part-time. Accounting and finance, doing part-time. Then also in the organization, it is I get time so that I can get time to work. And also my skills in accounting and finance, it has helped me to run the charity because we are able to comply to have the annual audited report done, to not have issues with taxations because of the skills.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Well, you have been traveling on a pretty interesting and exciting journey. Can you maybe give me some stories, a personal story for you about what you've done and about this journey that you're on and how it's changed your life?
Mhm. So my personal journey and how the life has changed. Um, it's about education, really. I think my mind is stuck to education because, as I said it earlier on, I struggle so much with education, having been sponsored by many people, because I was coming from my father died when I was young and I could not manage to really go through with education. I have personally dropped out of school at one time. So I understand how it feels for somebody to drop out of school. I've been out of school. So that's really my personal journey. And right now, having achieved what I wanted to achieve, like to have my degree, it's really great. It has changed my life. And I want every one that we support that are struggling, the children, to also experience this life change. And I'm happy for those who are already experiencing the life change. Yes.
Which is great. What are your plans going forward? What do you see is coming next?
My plan going forward, I would really want to continue advocating for disability inclusions, for accessibility, to make sure that everyone is treated equal, irrespective or regardless of your abilities. So I see myself, or I see Itinga Charity Education Foundation together with the Mara Uganda Education Fund and other partners that will come on board. We see ourselves pushing higher and higher. I I come from a community where very many people are illiterate. They want to see that many people have education. They are able to, you know, to earn a living by themselves, to support others. So yes, and we also hope to complete the construction of St. Mary's Goretti so that we have also the inclusive school going that can help the children from O level to A level, senior 1 to senior 6.
Well, let me ask you this, if I might. What would
Yes,
you
please.
like? What would you like the people who are listening to our podcast today? What would you like them to learn, and what kind of message do you want them to take away from this?
Yes. To those who are watching us, to those who are listening to the podcast right now, I I would like them to know that every child, regardless of their ability, they have the potential to learn. When they are empowered, they can learn. So I call upon all of them. I call upon everybody who is listening to us right now that they should contact Itinga Charity Education Foundation or Mara Uganda Education Fund. There's our website on the bio below. You can support us through donation. We call upon other organizations to partner with us because together we can achieve, together we can create a equitable society, together we can support disability inclusions. Let's support disability inclusion. Let's support the children. So yes, that is what I would like them to do to help us. To
And if
sponsor child, we also have sponsor child program.
well, if people want to reach out, how do they do that?
When people want to reach out to us, they can reach out on our website, www.icef-itinga.org. It is down in our bio. Then you can also reach out to us through LinkedIn. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on TikTok. You just have to type on Instagram also, you just type Itinga Charity Education Foundation. Then you can reach out to us. You will be able to find our office address there. You will be able to find our telephone contacts. Yes, feel free to visit us. Feel free to support. I call upon your support for our charity mission. Together, let us support disability inclusions.
So people can email you. I know it's in your biography. They can reach you at Kevin,
Yes.
Kevin, at ICEF dash ITINGA.org. And so I hope people will reach out to you. And
Yes, that's right. I look forward to that.
right. And I hope that they will support And I hope that they will also take the message back to their communities, because clearly you are setting a very positive example that people should follow.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm glad that we did have the opportunity to finally get together and do this today. It's been a while in coming. You're 10 hours ahead of us, so that makes it kind of fun to be able to schedule a time. But we did make it work, didn't we?
Yes, yes, we did. Thank you so much for the opportunity, for giving me this great opportunity to speak to the whole world about what we are doing at Itinga Child Education Foundation, to tell them that yes, we are supporting children who are blind, those with low vision. Yes, and we are having the construction of an inclusive school going on in Lira.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and that you took the time to come on and be with us today. And I want to thank all of you for listening and watching us on YouTube or wherever you're seeing our podcast or hearing our podcast, mostly hearing. I'd love to hear from you if you have ideas for guests, and Etienne, you as well. If you know anyone else who ought to be a guest on Unstoppable Mindset, please let us know. I am easily reachable at Michael, Michaelhi, at accessibe, ACCESSIBE.com. You can also go to our podcast page, which is www.michaelhingson.com/podcast. And Michael Hingson is MICHAELHINGSON.com/podcast. So we appreciate your listening. And whoever you are, wherever you may be, please give us a 5-star rating on the podcast. What we do here is try to show people who are unstoppable, and we want everyone to realize that they can be more unstoppable than they think they can. And I think that Acen Kevin is definitely showing that. And I hope that you'll all take that very much to heart. So give us a 5-star rating. We appreciate it. And again, Acen, one last time, I'd like to thank you for being here with us and taking your time this afternoon.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. It has been a pleasure being in the podcast.